Hello!
Hey. Oh.
I'm Christine.
Oh, I'm John.
And today we're going to be counting down our top 5 movies of 2018. You have a list of 5. I have a list of 5. We're going to compare, contrast. We're also going to give out some superlatives. Buckle your seatbelts for some new movie recommendations. What is your most surprising film of the year?
A wonderful, bizarre, crazy film called Sorry to Bother You.
Oh, shit!
I saw the trailer, and the trailer looked alright to me.
I saw the trailer and I was like, we need to see this movie.
I was going to mention this. I wouldn't have seen this film if it wasn't for you, because you're like, we need to go see this. I'm like, well, it looks alright. Right off the bat, it's so fun and inventive.
It's reminiscent of a Black Mirror episode in general, the feel of it.
Yeah, it kind of takes place in like a alternate modern day.
Reality.
That's like a little more like totalitarian.
While we're here talking about it, this has won my award for the most underrated film of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was your most surprisingly good film of the year?
For me, the most surprising was A Star Wars Story? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
In Prague, it's called Solo, and that's now all I can think of it. I am not typically a huge Star Wars fan. Like, I'll go in and I'll enjoy myself, but I won't be like, oh shit, I'm having the best time. This one was so much fun. It didn't even feel like a Star Wars movie. It was one heist. I love me a heist. I loved all the actors. I came out of that like, whoa! Favorite Star Wars movie for me.
I'm just gonna say right now, this actually won my award for the most underrated.
Oh my god!
So we kind of flipped.
Switched.
We switched. It got fairly good critic
Reviews,
ratings, but
yeah.
I think the thing I think probably for both of us is that it's underappreciated.
Yeah, it's a bummer that it came out when it did.
It's a good Star Wars film.
Is your funniest film of the year Deadpool 2?
It was going to be, but I wanted to kind of shine a light on a different funny movie that I still found really funny called The Death of Stalin.
What?
Yeah.
That's your winner for funniest film of the year?
Yes.
Oh my god, that
Yes.
was the saddest funny movie I've ever seen.
It's a very dark comedy.
It is so dark that it's not funny, except for the parts
funny.
where it's funny.
It is funny. It's dark. It's from the creator of Veep, which I didn't know. It deals with the direct aftermath of right when Joseph Stalin died in the Soviet Union, taking all these horrible things, but making a very dark comedy about it with Steve Buscemi and
Draco Malfoy's dad.
Yeah, it's just really funny.
It really isn't really funny. It has moments where it's like, that's funny, and then you're like, oh, this sucks.
Well, yeah. I mean, especially near the end, where it kind of does transition away from humor to like, oh.
My favorite part had to be when he died. And then they had to move him.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
You want to know what won mine? The Incredibles 2.
Oh, okay.
Every joke was just my perfect type of joke. Everything that Mr. Incredible was dealing with the kids.
Great.
Everything that Violet was dealing with. The visit to Edna Mode. I was cackling. It's time. It's time for the countdown.
Except for the honorable mention.
Honorable mentions time! Honorable mentions time! What did not make your top 5 list? It's cutthroat making a top 5 list.
This was really hard because we
Yeah,
saw
a lot of
like
films.
close to 40 films, I want to say. I had like a top 10 and they're all like so neck and neck that it was hard to like whittle down to 5. And I even now have 4 honorable mentions instead of 2.
I'll pick 2.
The first of my honorable mentions is a documentary.
Peter Jackson's documentary.
Yeah, it's called They Shall Not Grow Old. It's a World War I documentary that Peter Jackson did. Him and his studio went back, colorized, and also kind of cleaned up.
Sound.
Yeah, and added sound and cleaned up this old World War I footage. And it's just spectacular. It's incredible to see footage that is nearing on 100 years old.
And you got to hear interviews
they
with
have
veterans.
Interviews with veterans and
about really interesting stuff about shitting on a log. That really sold it for me.
The documentary was on like the life of the individual soldier in this war.
That's really cool.
And it was fascinating. It was sad and funny. I'd really recommend it.
My first honorable mention is Love, Simon, which is an adaptation of Becky Albertalli's Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. It was so sweet and so well done, and it made me cry and laugh and have all the feelings. It's a rom-com about a gay teen. Watch it.
My last honorable mention is Black Panther.
Okay.
If you asked me back in when this came in February of 2018, if this would be in like a top 5 or something, I would say absolutely yes. This film was incredible. All the performances were amazing. Michael B. Jordan absolutely killed it in this movie. It's one of those movies that when it ends, you feel like you've watched just a full...
Like an epic arc.
Like a
when are we gonna rewatch it?
I know, we need to rewatch it.
I think I just said we watch it. When are we gonna rewatch it? I want to watch it.
Right now. No.
Right after this! My other honorable mention that I could not get on my list was A Star is Born. That's it for our honorable mentions!
Woo!
Dun, 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 dun. It's Oscars time! Did you not like that song?
I was just not prepared.
Dun, 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 dun. It's Oscars time!
Y'all ready for this?
At 5. You be the echo. At 5.
5. Like that?
No, 5.
Oh.
At 5.
5. My number 5 is Sorry to Bother You. It was...
Wow, it made your top 5 list too.
Oh yeah, it made my top 5.
Wow, it overlapped thrice because I had it on one, you had
Oh,
it,
yeah.
and it's on your list again. 5 for me, and I can't believe this didn't make your list. Into the SpiderVerse. I honestly had no interest in it for a very long time because I did not like the animation style in the trailers.
Oh, I loved it.
But the script was fantastic. All the characters and their arcs and the different Spider-Man were so much fun.
Yeah.
Miles' journey and transition into Spider-Man was everything. If you haven't seen it, you want to see it. It's my second favorite Spider-Man movie. Where does it fall for you? Obviously not that high because it's not on your top 5 list.
Either tied for second with Homecoming or behind Homecoming in third. Number 1 is Spider-Man 2 from Sam Raimi.
Number 1 is Homecoming for me.
Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 is unbeatable. It is...
I mean, it's beautiful for me.
Okay, well... It's a perfect movie.
I think Homecoming is a perfect movie. Coming in at 4.
4?
I'm gonna guess that your number 4 is A Star is Born.
No.
Oh man.
A little film called Annihilation.
Oh my god! Annihilation is on your list, but SpiderVerse isn't?
Hell yeah.
Why do this weird Annihilation thing happening?
Annihilation is great.
It was so weird and uncomfortable.
Oh, it was super
I was
uncomfortable.
Just so cringe the entire time and horrified.
Oh, it was horrifying.
It was like my worst nightmares coming to life.
Oh, yeah. The reason why, it's a really unique story presented in a unique way. The art direction in this film is second to none. There's some
it
just
was
truly
pretty in a gruesome way.
Oh, gruesome, horrifying, weird, like, creatures that basically these characters go into, like, this, it's called the Shimmer, this anomaly that's happening. They go in and there's stuff that's kind of crossing into each other, like there's plants that are in the shapes of people, there's different animals that are, like, crossing into each other in, like, these grotesque ways. There's some horrifying scenes. It feels truly alien,
this film scarred me.
Oh, yeah.
I was just...
Oh, the score is also fantastic. The music is fantastic.
I have no memory of the music.
It's equally
by
disturbing.
The images.
I loved it.
Do you want to guess my number 4?
I'm gonna say, is it 8th grade?
It is not. My number 4 is one you didn't see, The Hate You Give, which almost got my underrated, but because I had it on my list, I was like, I'll just talk about how it's underrated. Not many people are talking about this film. That was fantastic at a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was limited release at first, but then it was worldwide release, and no one was discussing it.
No one was.
And it was so good. I have never cried as hard as I cried in this movie. It was so moving and so important and such a win for the young adult movie adaptation community. You have to watch it. It's available for rent. Rent it if you haven't seen it yet. Read the book if you haven't read it yet. I'm gonna guess that your number 3 is A Star is Born.
No.
Damn it.
Number 3, I'll give you a hint. Dun, dun, dun.
A Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place. I think one of the major factors I'm realizing in a lot of these top movies I'm picking is the music. Quiet Place also had a really
What
great,
a surprise. The
memorable
musician picks his favorite
know, right?
movies based off of the music.
This is weird for me, though, because I'm not a horror movie fan. I don't like scary movies.
You have a lot of horror movies on your top 5 for
I don't
someone
like
who
scary
doesn't
movies.
like scary
I
movies.
don't do well with scary movies, but I have Annihilation and A Quiet Place in my top 5 of the year.
I mean, A Quiet Place, honestly, is more like a thriller because I'm very bad at scary movies, and I loved A Quiet Place.
I love...
Not enough
Yeah.
to make it on my top 5.
I love like creature monster movies, and the creature in this is really cool. The premise of this movie, everyone knows it by now. It's they hunt by sound, so everyone has to be super quiet, and there's all these different little things they do in the film, the little details like walking on sand. And
let me just also say that if you haven't seen this film and you have seen a Bird Box and think they're basically the same, they're not. And don't not see this film because you were not impressed with Bird Box. Please.
I saw Bird Box. It was promising in the first half and disappointing and kind of boring in the second half. A Quiet Place was exciting and thrilling.
It was a fantastic film.
The first 5 minutes, it's like a normal theater experience and people are like eating and stuff, and then once you realize, oh, there's like no sound.
It's completely
everyone
silent
gets quiet.
In the theater. It's so silent. I don't think I've
you can
ever
hear someone
had...
like eating a piece of popcorn.
No one ate popcorn, though.
Yeah.
It was so quiet. It was chilling. And
Yeah.
that's part of the genius of this film, because any sound is scary.
And props to John Krasinski for
I am
directing.
so proud of John Krasinski.
Yeah.
Jim from The Office. My number 3.
Is it 8th grade?
No, it's Mamma Mia 2! Mamma Mia! Here we go again. Wow, I was not expecting to love this movie like I did, but it made my year. It's been a long time since I left the theater this happy, literally dancing down the hallway and singing. And then I went home and rewatched the first Mamma Mia, and it ignited this love and passion for Mamma Mia in me that I did not have when I first watched it in high school. And now if I need a pick-me-up and I want to have the most fun time ever, I just put on Mamma Mia 2 and just spend my night smiling and singing and laughing. This is just a bottle of cheer. The choreography, the dancing, the actors, everything's perfect. I love it, and it's amazing, and it was so unexpected, and it is my number 3 top movie of 2018.
You can't go wrong with Pierce Brosnan. We're down to it.
We are down to the top 2
Two.
movies nice. Of the year. Number 2.
Two.
Is your number 2 A Star Is Born?
It is A Star Is Born. I'm almost surprised at myself how high this movie is up on my list. I loved it so much. Lady Gaga was incredible in it. Bradley Cooper was incredible in it. He did a wonderful job directing. Music was great. We both had Shallow stuck in our heads for like a month. I wasn't expecting to be as blown away as I was when the movie ended. It's just...
I knew you would be.
But it was just like, incredibly emotional film. There's lots of parts of it that are very like heartwarming and loving, but it also deals with some really real stuff. It deserves all the praise it's getting. Okay, you're number 2. You're throwing curveballs at me. I can't guess
I'm
these.
throwing curveballs. Someone had a Stalin as his funniest movie of the year. My number 2 is Infinity War.
Woo.
It was just an incredible film with an incredible cast. So many storylines that were just so beautifully balanced. This perfect merge of all of these main characters. It was just excellent. If you haven't watched all the Marvel films so that you could watch this film, it's worth catching up for, because this is something that I think we're going to be talking about for years and years and years and years. And finally,
We're here.
We're
We're here.
Our top 1.
Our top 1. This
The
is
best
it.
movie of the year.
Our favorite movie, our best movie of the year.
The best movie of 2018. I have John's best movie of the year in here. I think I know what it's going to be. I'm pretty sure it's Infinity War, but let's see. Let's see what it is. And the winner for John's best movie of 2018 is... Shut up! He wrote Justice League on here. It is Infinity War. You have been looking forward to this whole time.
Yeah. It's Infinity War. When you were talking about how well they put this together with how many characters there are, I was thinking back to the original Avengers movie and being scared for that one. It's almost laughable to look back at like being scared of like them handling like 6 or 7 characters, and then this movie has like 20, 40, I don't know. It felt kind of like the culmination to every character's story, which is what it needed to be.
Got one left.
This is it. Okay.
My number 1 movie of the year.
And the winner is... I hope it's Justice League. Oh! And the winner's 8th grade!
It is! I love 8th grade. It hit me in so many emotional ways, but also it was so funny and so nostalgic. I just think the lead actress was so fantastically perfect. She captured 8th grade. It brings you back to that time. You don't remember this time. You never think about it because it sucks. It was like such a shit time in your life. But it brings you right back there. And it just makes you take a step back and look at your own growth and think about, you know, the people in 8th grade now and how things are different and harder for them. And it's just such a great film. And I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did. I feel like this is another one that was kind of underrated because it's an indie film.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't imagine everything she did being in the script, so she must have been in her head a lot, just being a 13-year-old. You know, delivering these lines.
There's so many scenes that you mentioned, like the awkwardness. Like she goes to the pool party.
The pool scene. Everyone has had a scene like that in their life.
In their life where
they go to their first like girl-boy pool party in middle school.
Awkward and scary and cringy, and you don't know what to do. Like you can feel
You're
just
there with her. You're so there with her. And it's so funny to hear her speak in that 8th grade way where you're not confident enough really to speak, but you try and it just comes out like, I charge phones too.
It's really good.
That, ladies and gentlemen, has been our top 5 countdown of the best films of 2018. Next, we're going to be counting down the top 5 worst films of 2018. So look out for that video. I'm Christine. This is John. I make videos every Tuesday and other days too. My book, Again But Better, comes out this year, May 7th. Pre-order links are in the description. I'll talk to you next time.